In this lesson, we are going to read through the separating food topic in the template food control plan. This is one of the green-colored cards in the preparing section of the plan and is page number 46. Note that this topic is one that your verifier will check every time. What do you need to know? Keeping raw and/or uncooked food away from cooked and/or ready-to-eat foods, for example, keeping raw chicken away from cooked food, will stop bugs spreading. Keep food separate from chemicals such as cleaning products. Some foods or ingredients could cause an allergic reaction. Keeping food that does not contain allergens separate from foods containing the allergens listed below will stop people getting sick and possibly dying. There are a number of common food allergens you need to know about. These are peanuts, crustacea, mollusks, fish, milk, egg, gluten, wheat, soy, sesame, lupin, sulfites, almonds, Brazil nuts, cashews, hazelnuts, macadamias, pecans, pine nuts, pistachios, walnuts. Know what allergens are in the food you sell. Follow the rules in the knowing what is in your food card. You need to be able to tell customers, using the required allergen name, if they ask, or include this information on the packaging. Follow the rules in the packaging and labeling card. Liquid, such as from defrosted food, can contain harmful bugs. If these juices get onto other food and surfaces, they can make people sick. Why is separating food important? Accidental contamination of food is one of the most common reasons food becomes unsafe. Separating food will stop people getting sick and possibly dying. Poisons and dangerous chemicals can make people sick if they get into food. Making all allergen-free foods before you make allergen-containing foods can add some extra protection. What do you need to do? You and your staff must have a way to manage preparing raw and cooked and/or ready-to-eat foods, and foods that contain the allergens listed in the know, and foods that do not contain those allergens. Complete your plan by ticking the option that you and your staff use to manage the point above. Use different spaces and equipment, for example, chopping boards, knives and utensils, or thoroughly clean and sanitize, if required, surfaces, boards, knives and other utensils between use, or thoroughly clean and sanitize, if required, surfaces and equipment between use and process at different times. Wash your hands. Follow the rules in the Managing Personal Health and Hygiene card, and if required, change protective clothing such as aprons, between handling raw and cooked and/or ready-to-eat foods, or foods that contain the allergens listed in the know, and foods that do not contain those allergens, or dangerous chemicals or poisons in food. Keep all products not intended for human consumption, for example, pet food, away from food and food preparation areas. Label poisons and dangerous chemicals clearly, store them away from food and food equipment, and make sure food is protected when using them. Label and store all food that could cause an allergic reaction separately. Tell your customers which foods you make or sell contain allergens if asked. When transporting your food, separate raw and cooked foods and/or ready-to-eat foods, or foods that contain the allergens listed in the know, and foods that do not contain those allergens. What do you need to show? Your verifier will ask you and your staff to explain how you and/or they know whether the foods made or served contain allergens, and the required allergen name to describe them. Show your verifier that foods containing any of the allergens listed in the know, and poisons and dangerous chemicals are clearly labeled. Show or explain to your verifier how you separate raw and cooked and/or ready-to-eat products, or foods that contain the allergens listed in the know, and foods that do not contain those allergens, or dangerous chemicals or poisons in food.